In the year 3000, natural bodybuilding federations worldwide stopped using WADA to determine someone's natty status and instead use Instagram comment sections to purely dictate the outcome of whether someone competes natural or not. This leads to uproar, as anyone in moderate condition or displaying somewhat decent levels of muscularity is banned for life. We also have issues within gyms, as scientists discover that actually leaving all the reps in the tank is the best way to achieve a hypertrophic response. So people end up just not training anymore. And we go into gyms and look at dumbbells instead to grow, because that's determined as the best way to manage fatigue and really progress. So natural bodybuilding takes a turn for the worse, and we can look forward to that.
My man AJ, bring in us some not so good news about the future. I hope Helms, you need to invent time travel and basically help sort this stuff out. Man, so I know that I was supposed to go behind the scenes and show you guys what is up with what we do outside of the gym. However, this was just too good of a week in regards to gains, and like this log is about gaining in the year 3000. So here we go. So this movement right here, just wanted to show you guys. I demoed it on the gram. Check it out if you haven't seen it. And it actually, the demo felt so good that I'm like, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna keep it around, and it's been a finisher, if you will. So my last row on my pull days has been this one arm row variation. Super tasty row. If you haven't tried it, check out the gram. I go over how to do this, why it works, and why, for those of you guys who like just don't get the fuss behind what's so cool about that single arm dumbbell row, this will kind of tell you what is up. So let's get into this week. It was a magical week. That's probably the best way to put it. So deadlifts. I wanted to see, I've been showing people how to deadlift so much, especially at the gym recently. I'm like, let me just practice what I preach. Let me get in there and see what I got. So I wanted to work up to just a really chill 5. I like 5s when introducing new movements because that's enough like practice in regards to like how many reps in a set. It's usually challenging enough, right? The weight that you will use for your 5. And it's not too heavy where, like there should be, where form breakdown is perhaps likely to happen. So enough study time, but it's not too intense, is why I dig the 5s. This was super low RPE 5, just to, again, keep myself safe. Look at that eccentric. That is how you deadlift if you are a bodybuilder. If you're just dropping it at the top, hey, the concentric is cool, but don't forget you have an eccentric, and there's gains to be made with that eccentric. So you're basically getting half the gains, or a huge fraction of your gains anyways, are just basically being just like, just going down the drain, or falling down into the platform in this case. So 2 sets, very chill, 455 for a set of 5. It's been, I think, like 3 years since I even tried to pull sumo. My position was all over the place. Like on this one, I backed down to 4 plates just to see if I can come off the ground with the first rep while maintaining a good position. And I think I just need to go wider with my stance, which I wanted to see if I could do it with this stance, but I don't think so. And this stance is very different relative to how I used to pull back when I was doing the lifting for the power. When I was competing, as partially competing, is like I was not competing. I was signing up for powerlifting meets. But check out this though. IPF hype was in the air. So IPF Raw Worlds was like happening, and you couldn't help but get in the spirit. Like the lifting from like beginning to end, super just like inspiring, especially if you into gaining strength. And I know that for me, gaining strength, I said that on purpose, strength, is something that was as big of a part as like getting swole. Is like, holy crap, that's 500 pounds, by the way, folks. This young lady just pulled 500 pounds in the IPF. So anyhow, it was just amazing, and it inspired me to at least, hey, I'll never be as strong as like truly strong people, but I want to be stronger. And this week kind of it worked out that way. So anyhow, palpation stuff, something that I did want to share with you guys. Whenever I have a non-creepy person in the gym that I trust, like my boy here, Tyson, I had him basically like touch the muscle groups that I really wanted to focus on, that I really wanted to engage on this movement. And it's crazy how that works. Like for example, if you've ever squatted and someone just touches you really briefly in your torso, you know how you straighten up right away? Same thing. So that's what I was doing here. So I was having Leanna palpate, and not many people out there would I trust with this job, or would I enjoy it nearly as much. But I had her palpate. Remember we went over this in my previous entries to why I'm doing it this way. The top of my left glute, and everyone back there is giving her grief about the faces I'm making while doing this movement. But yeah, the palpation stuff, super helpful, super a great way to kind of bring the focus, especially when it comes to like non-compound movements, like the feeler exercises, where you are using internal cueing as opposed to external cueing. Having someone palpate you in the area that you are trying to target is not a bad way to feel the movement or do the movement the way you intend it to be done. So dips, this one we just started adding weight, and I'm getting heavier, but I'm adding weight. So this one I think over time is going to get really impressive, not just in regards to like the weight, because I'm decently strong with that, but more so what it does, and we'll go over that at some other point. But dips and that single arm row, those are staying for a while. But this is where the majority of the gains came from. This was a highlight of the week, and a lot of you guys on the gram might have seen this. So this was supposed to be 455, which would have been, at least for this cycle, like I've never really pin squatted seriously, so a PR for sure. It was supposed to be an RP 8. This was not an 8. Like I probably could have gotten, that first rep is, again, like still I probably could have gotten like 5 reps with that. So I put it back. I'm like, hey, let's go up. Let's add 10s to each side, make it 475. Misloaded. You see that? The left side had 2 dimes, 1 dime on that side. US currency for 10s. Yeah, so I misloaded 485, but just not symmetrical. I didn't feel it. So on the first one, like my walkout and the way I got into that bar was just exactly how I wanted. Like it was textbook. But with this walkout, it was one of those things where as soon as I took it, I'm like, man, this is weak. Like the bar is not in you. You haven't built up the right amount of tension. Like I don't like the bar to feel like it's on me, but in me. And it didn't happen. But I was like, you know what? Let's just go for it. Because if you put it back, like in your head, it's gonna make you think more than you need to right now. So let's just dip down, see what happens. You surely are strong enough to get 475. If based on the previous at 475 for 1 rep. And no, so what ended up happening, 485, I think had it been evenly distributed, would not have looked this ugly, or this hard rather. It wasn't an ugly squat. It was just a very hard squat. That was like legit an RPE 10. Freaked out Leanna there for a second. But yeah. So miss a PR, and I guess to add insult to victory, it was misloaded. But yeah, the pin squats are going fantastic. I really feel that, especially for me, because I get so much out of that stretch reflex at the bottom, they are going to work wonders. And once I do decide to remove those, it's going to really show up in my game. So anyhow, the bulk is going like super well. I've been using this as like my leg press hack squat. I'm done with this, mentally taxed. But yeah, it's going that well. And again, this is what I want to show you guys. Like an old dude that's been lifting for nearly 2 decades, bulking's gonna do him good. So let's talk about your situation and how it can help you out to perhaps put on a few extra pounds, get a tiny bit softer than you would like. It's gonna show up in the gym, and long term, it's gonna show up in your physique next time you decide to cut. So That's what I'm preaching, guys. But that's it. We'll get into the voyeurism next time. But I just wanted to share the gains party with you guys. All right. So thank you. Even if you don't like this, I like this week. But I appreciate it if you liked it. All right.